Hi everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. Today I wanted to share with you some apps that I use in my homeschooling routine almost every single day. I composed a list of 10 different apps and then I split them into groups. The first 5 are the ones that I use generally for all 3 of my children, and they're on our family iPad. And then the second 5 are specific for my special needs daughter, and I have those on her personal iPad. And so I just wanted to take a minute or so to talk about each one. So I'll introduce it and then I'll just quickly turn the camera around and just point out a few things of what I like for each app. I will make sure to link these in the description below so that you can go check those out. I did not do the research as far as how much they cost. Most of them are probably free because I don't tend to pay a whole lot for apps. So there may be 1 or 2 that you have to pay for, but for the most part they are all free. And so I hope this video will help you if you're looking for some new apps out there. Maybe you can get some ideas from this. Also, can you please share with me in the comments below any apps that you love and you go to on a daily basis for homeschooling, because I'm always looking for new ones and I would love to hear what you have to say about that. App number 1 is called Intro to Cursive, and this app is so helpful because when I start my children out in preschool, I always start them with cursive writing. We start learning that first. For me, that's just very important. That's what I've just done with 2 of my 3 children. My special needs daughter, we do practice print rather than cursive just because it's not quite as challenging for her, but cursive is very important to me, and so I use this app when they're in preschool. Actually, it takes away the frustration with pencil and paper at first. They can just use their finger and trace each cursive letter for practice each day. So here's the first one called Intro to Cursive, and you can see you have lowercase letters, uppercase letters, and the alphabet. And then this is really fun for preschool kids. It gives them the feeling and the sound of writing in sand. And so again, it just takes away needing paper and pencil, and they can do that with their pointer finger to start out so that they can get used to the feeling of cursive. App number 2 is called Cursive Writing, and again, very similar to the first one that I mentioned. They can use their finger to practice their cursive letters, and there's a couple different ways that they can do that in the app. I think there might be words and sentences that they can trace, and so again, this is just very helpful when they're first starting out learning to trace and to write. I could use this app to reinforce what we were doing. So here's cursive writing, and again you can see there's ABCs, the words and sentences, and then even right here where they can get used to making that loop motion, again for young students who are just starting out, and so we use this daily for reinforcement. App number 3 is called Geography Drive, and this one is so helpful for older kids, maybe 1st through 3rd graders that are learning geography, probably even a little higher than that, maybe 4th through 6th graders also. And it's just a fun little game where they are given trivia questions and they can pick the answer, and it rewards them according to how well they do. And they learn states and capitals through this app. They learn the abbreviations for each state, which is really, really good. And a lot of different things about geography for our country, the United States of America. Okay, so here's Geography Drive.
Choose a player.
You can see they can pick their name and play that game and learn all about United States geography. The 4th app that we have on our family iPad is called Splash Math, and this is nice because you can set up a different profile for each child, and depending on what level they're on, it just teaches them the basic math concepts starting in the preschool level, and it goes up probably through about 2nd or 3rd grade. And again, I just love this because it was just daily extra reinforcement that they could practice on with this app, and it would keep track of their progress for each student so that it was all kept separately and depending on what level they were on. And it's just a fun little math game. The questions are, a lot of the questions are presented in multiple choice format, and so it's just nice and easy and a fun way for them to work on their math skills. Here's Splash Math. And you can see it goes all the way up through grade 5. Now I do think on some of this content you do have to pay extra to access more of the content, but it is great if you've got one that's in preschool or kindergarten. It's perfect for them to start with. The 5th app that we use on our family iPad is called Grandma Loves Bugs, and it's just a cute little app with a lot of math reinforcement. I think maybe a few little games, a memory game, matching game, even some facts that they learn about insects. And it's just a fun little way to reinforce some of the things that they've been learning. I would say it was probably more on a preschool or kindergarten level. And so this was just, again, a nice one that we could go to each and every day for reinforcement. Okay, here's Grandma Loves Bugs. And you can see they've got a fun little way of presenting that with the insects and the grandma that teaches them. So they have to find the firefly. So there's some science concepts. Also there's some math in this app. That's super cute. The first app that is on my daughter who has special needs, it's on her iPad, is called Little Writer. And this is great because it's a tracing app similar to the ones that I talked about before, but this one is all in print, there's no cursive, and it gives just a little cue for them to start, and it shows them where to trace. And she has improved greatly with her hand-eye coordination through the year just by using this app each day. She can use her finger or a stylus, and it takes a lot of the frustration out for her because that is a very challenging area for her. And this one, again, we just love it. She can trace letters, numbers, some shapes, and I think even some words. And this one has just really helped her improve with her writing skills this year. Okay, so here's Little Writer. Yeah. Turn it around and you can see if she chose uppercase letters, it gives her a cue where she can start and follow the lines and complete the letter. And lowercase, numbers, shapes, and words. The second app on my special needs daughter's iPad is called Rivet, and this is so cute because it's a reading and comprehension app, and it's loaded with lots of different books depending on what age level the child is on. And again, I think you can set up profiles, and so it's a place where she can go and read, and as she gets better she can go to the next level. And what she really likes about this app is at the end she gets to rate each book, so she can assign like a little smiley or a frowny face depending on whether she liked the book or not, and then also can give it some emojis, and she really enjoys that part, keeps her motivated. And this app I think keeps track of how long the student is reading and what they're reading, so if they happen to go to something that they've already read, I think it will kind of keep track so that they can make sure they're reading new content. Okay, here's Rivet, and you can see there's lots of different fun books for them to choose from, and they're also organized into categories here at the top and then levels. And so this provides a lot of fun content. The third app on my daughter's iPad is called Dexteria Junior, and this is just a little app again that promotes hand-eye coordination. It's perfect for her. She does have visual impairment, and so it helps her just with tracing lines. There's no letters or numbers, anything like that. It's just almost like lines that look like mazes, but it can get a little hard at the higher levels. And then also there's two different areas where she can use her pincher fingers, just fun little games that she can use. Again, just helping her with controlling her hands and also using her eyes at the same time, which is definitely a challenge for her. Okay, here's Dexteria Junior. And you got 3 sections: squish the squash, trace and erase, and pinch the pepper. And it promotes hand-eye coordination. The fourth app on my daughter's iPad is actually a group of 2 by the same maker or company called PhotoTouch. And the first part is called PhotoTouch Sight Words. And so for her, she does work on her sounds, but she also does better with sight reading. And so we work on groups of words that way. And so it just presents the words in an easy format where she can just touch and know whether she's going to get it right or wrong. It will prompt whether she's right or wrong. And so it has different levels depending on what grade they're in. And so she can work up that way through that app. And then the second one by PhotoTouch is called Comparative Adjectives. And she's just presented with pictures of different things, you know, so that she can learn words like oldest or newest or smallest. And again, it will prompt if she gets the answer wrong. And so she's probably not as good at this one. We still have a ways to go on this one. But again, it's great for practice. Like if we're going somewhere, she's got it right there on her iPad. Okay, here's Sight Words by PhotoTouch. And it's very self-explanatory. And here's Comparative Adjectives by PhotoTouch. The fifth app on my daughter's iPad is called Starfall, and we've actually used Starfall for a long time. We used it when she was a lot younger. We first started using it on the computer, and then when she got her iPad, we got the app and put it on there. And so this is great. Again, there's all sorts of stuff. There's letters, numbers, reading, music, shapes, all sorts of information with Starfall, and you can get, I guess, a membership and pay a little extra to access more of the content through that app. But it's just great. I just love it because it just has so many resources, and there's just a lot of new things where it doesn't get old for her. So she really likes Starfall. And then also part of Starfall is a second app called Starfall ABCs, and this is just the ABCs, and the letters are blown up bigger and have color to them. And so we practice this just for her to be able to point out letters and type them, because one of the goals that I have for her in the future is to be able to type words and sentences so that she can communicate that way, maybe in a text messaging format. And so we use Starfall ABCs to practice pecking out different letters. She knows her letters, but to actually find it and point to the right one and touch the right one on the screen is still a challenge. And a lot of times she'll miss and get the one at the top or the one below. So Starfall ABCs brings the alphabet a little bigger and makes it more fun, where she can point out those letters and we can practice that way. Here's the Starfall app. You can see there's a whole lot to do on this app, and you can become a member to access more content. Okay, and then here's Starfall ABCs.
Starfall.com, where children have fun learning.
Okay, and again, like I said, the alphabet is in a format where she can pick out the letters, and so we learn to do that. And then also you've got a few other things over to the side there: numbers, shapes, vowels, and also I forgot to mention there is some sign language there at the bottom. So this is a great app for her, and we really enjoyed using this every day. So that's 10 different apps that I hope you might be interested in checking out. We have not outgrown any of those apps very quickly, so they've all got a lot of content that you can use in different stages for different children depending on where they're at. And also in my next video I have one more app that I'm going to be talking about that is specific for my daughter who has special needs, and it's on her iPad, and it's what she uses for communication. So I hope you'll join me in the next video, because I'm going to talk all about that specifically, just in its own video there. And so I hope you'll like this video and hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss the next one. And I hope you have a great week. I'm Stephanie, and I'll see you next time.